We are on Spring Rise the 13th when everything is raining because that's the spring. And Eldag the Ravager has crossed the mountains in the or he's crossing, I should say, is crossing. Let's backtrack, actually. So Spring Rise 13 is when you will arrive to the Rock fortress. Now, moving through the mountains, there are a few things here. This is the reason why we are doing this session together, because there are so many things that will happen to Eldag during these days. You have your 30-odd warriors with you, having retreated away from the Rust Brothers and being, under this constant rain. That actually is a bit of a blessing, because it's definitely going to hinder Rust Brothers on horses even more than it will hinder orcs who are stalwart and sturdy. And
yep,
as you cross into the mountains, I'm a bit curious here. When we're looking at the map together, there we go. I don't have the hexagon map for you here because I could upload another map if you want.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Because my question is, if you're going by the west side of the mountains or the east side of the mountains?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm going to say probably trying to do it. Where's?
Like, I could put your.
How do I lay out a ping or something?
Oh, you should have like a pen on a drawing tool on the left hand. There's a bunch.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. If I put Eldag here.
Oh, there we go. that actually works just fine.
Yeah.
It's a drawing tool. Honestly, if my goal is to head to the Roka, but to do it in a way that's, I don't know. Do I want to be a twit? Because if I go this way, there's an aspect to it where it's kind of like, look at me, hers. I'm going over to the Roka.
Yep.
Shouldn't you be going over to the Roka? Gosh, shouldn't we all go together to the Roka?
Yep. There's definitely that.
There's that, but there's also going this way, which it's frankly safer.
It is, yeah.
Because it's also basically in my territory, so it wouldn't be particularly be seen as aggressive.
That's correct. So west side, a bit more pokey your nose towards her east side, certainly safer, yes.
You know what? I hate to say it. Eldag's feeling his oats right now. He beat, Prince Dickhead. And he's feeling pretty cool about himself. So yeah, he's gonna be an idiot.
He's gonna go the west side?
He's gonna go west side.
Excellent. I love idiots. I mean and I also
how do I clear this?
I can do that. Not a problem.
Okay.
I can, in fact, say that this journey will, as much as Eldag's blood is up, and, he wouldn't have any qualms about picking a fight with Urher just to show the strength of the Easier, they're seemingly not there, so it's 3 days for him in the mountains, when nothing much happens. Eldag is kind of bored. Several of his warriors are slowly recovering from all the things that, have hurt them.
Eldag's sitting there kind of going like, good, I don't have to kill or I don't have to lose any more men. Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to, wave my dick in the Urher's faces, but at this point in time, I'll take the boredom.
You'll take the boredom. Yeah,
everybody's scarred up and cut, and I've got the adrenaline high, but I'm not an idiot.
That's a fair point. And
he's feeling smug, but that smugness is coming very much from the idea of like, if the Urher show up, it's like, hey bitches, I just beat some humans. What have you done? As opposed to.
And so you arrive at the Roka fastness in Roka lands, if you will.
Hot damn.
Yes, or you're arriving towards Ahrok, the fort of the Roka,
Right.
and making your way there with the troops. So I'm just gonna move your token that way.
Works for me.
Now, you have scouts out, of course. They're watching the lands ahead. You are proceeding towards the place. Ahrok, it turns out, is closed. The gates into this fastness are all locked up. The walls are patrolled intensely by Roka Orc guards. And as you're getting closer, even, kilometers away, there are pickets out there. Roka patrols who go like, "Who goes there?" And as all of you are coming,
right. So okay, so we're showing up, and here come a bunch of Roka guards doing their jobs.
Yep. They
right.
seem very on edge. If you want to, of course, you can roll. I suppose it's an insight check. Eldag is not terribly good at that stuff.
No,
but,
let's see. Key players, Eldag the Ravager. Let's see. What have I got? Oh, did I heal up my strength?
Yes, you did. You are fine.
Okay. Oh shit.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah. Yay, I'm back to full. Yeah, wits 2. Well, let's see. Empathy's not.
Yeah, no, this is not an empathy thing. This is a
yeah, no. That's you're right. It's an insight check, which is wits, and I'm crap at that, so we're not going to do that. However, it makes sense that they would be on edge, considering the fact that. Oh my, hang on.
Oh my is a good way of putting this.
Yeah, like considering the fact that the Roka in her moment of turmoil, and here comes a bunch of orcs.
Yep.
Okay, so they show up. So I'm trying to decide. No, because the whole point of this wasn't necessarily to go directly to this. This was us trying to intercept a human.
The whole point of this was you pay your respects to General Archa.
What I'm doing now. But when we left the village, that wasn't the plan. When we left the village, it was to intercept those humans.
Yes, which never happened.
So well, no, it did. We made the intercept. We met up with the adventurers and kicked the crap out of the prince.
You did. You did. Yes, that part hit. But after that, your
after that, then we decided to head to Roka. I decided to head to Roka, and so I'm just thinking, like, if I did that, that would mean we didn't have a lot of pomp. We'd probably at most have a battle flag.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have.
You are not coming here as an invading force, basically.
Yeah, no, but in the sense of we don't have like a big banner for me to stand in front of and go, we represent the East here. This is primarily a group built around speed and combat, not for for diplomacy. So I have to be a bit careful with this. Okay. Let's see. What's the deal here?
I mean, you can definitely roll a manipulate roll to explain.
Well, that's the thing. I'm looking at threatening, thinking to myself, I could do manipulate.
You could do threatening
as a might, and just threatening is instead of manipulation, I can use might. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could do that.
Yes, you
could. But they could still attack me, and they do strike me as people who they got a lot on their plate, and orcish posturing might get them pissed off as opposed to get them working with me.
Yeah, this particular patrol is not in a state of being able to resist 30 Aesir orc warriors.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
No, but if I've got them on my side, then that can get me through into the fastball that much faster.
That's a fair point.
In that case, so they who goes there? Eldag stands forward, lets them see, his burn scars and everything, holding his axe in a, peaceful manner, but very clear, like, I'm a freaking orc. I'm ready to fight if necessary.
Yeah.
And he basically announces himself. I am Eldag the Ravager. I have come to pay my respects to the Roga clan in this time of conflict, and hopefully be able to bring some unity. I come under banner of brotherhood as a fellow orc, and would ask that you guide me into the Fasthold so I may enter in peace and friendship.
You will, in fact, have a +5 on your roll due to your reputation.
Okay, then. So am I rolling my might, or what am I rolling here?
Manipulation, I guess, because you're not trying to actually scare them.
That's true. All right. But see, if I'm in that case, I kind of have to roll my. You know what? No. So in that case, if we're gonna go with it, that I need to make a threatening move to be able to cash in on my. I don't know. I do get that +5, and that's pretty shiny.
You get the +5 either way, so you can threaten them, or you can just speak nicely to them. That sounded to me like more of a manipulation thing.
Yeah,
we'll
do manipulation.
So but it's a manipulation, and your modifier you put +5. So you have plenty of dice for this.
Yes. All right. So this is looking a little bit new. How do I roll this? Do I click on manipulation or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
And then you have a
modifier 5.
And then you go.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
That's a success. One single 6 out of all those dice. Okay.
That's depressing, but
yes, I'll roll their insight. They have not much, so they will be very impressed by your rank. Your name precedes you. They will definitely defer and send a runner to announce your arrival, and the rest of that very small patrol will escort you towards Ahrok, whatever that means.
Damn right.
Yeah, exactly. And as you finally get there, you will discover exactly what I told you before, that, the gates are shut, there are orcs patrolling there. You, being a captain of war, will notice that the Roka are, in fact, on a war footing. There is no doubt about that. If there's one thing Eldag knows well, it is war. And these guys are not at peace. There is that tension in the air of orcish warriors expecting an ambush at any point in time.
Well, that's lovely.
But as you have declared yourself to be peaceful, at first they don't really open the gates immediately, which is a bit concerning. And it takes a moment or two as you're standing there with your troops, your 30-something troops, which is still a big... Well, from orcish perspective, it's basically an army, right?
Basically 60 dudes, so yeah.
And it takes a little while until you see more people coming up above the gate that is still barred. And those people include... you see that woman who spoke to you during the feast with General Archa. I'm sure you might remember.
Yep.
And she's standing next to Doglook.
Okay. Now I've got to pull this up again because I know the name.
Doglook is the fourth son. You haven't had.
I'm trying to remember if Doglook's the one that I like or the one that I think is a twit.
And he is the one that you like.
Yeah.
You decided that you wanted to support him.
Right. And she's backing him?
Apparently.
Okay.
He's the one who has a strong sense of duty and honor. He's the fourth son, as I said.
Yes, he has the weakest claim, but I decided that he was probably the best.
Yeah, your view of him is that he's terribly incompetent as a war leader because he can't make his mind up. But the fact that he prizes duty and honor tip the scales for you, seemingly, because the others, like a Scholar, a Rage Monster, a spoiled... there was just... Everybody else was a disaster as far as you were concerned.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was basically like there's the Rage Monster who, yeah, he's a great general, and I like him as a general, but I'd never trust him to actually lead a nation.
Exactly. Yeah, that was let's see now. Yeah, that was Gorg, the oldest son, right? Excellent warrior, and he was the one who challenged you, and you had a fight with him.
Yes, that's right. Because Gadruk, because I liked Gadruk, but then Gorg blamed Gadruk, and I said, "Screw you, Gorg. Your dude is cool."
Yep.
And then we fought, and I kicked his ass. But then I basically immediately said, "No, you win," because it's going to be because I'm going to be creating way more troubles for myself if I piss you off further.
Indeed. All
right.
So yes,
okay,
Doglook is standing up there together with this orcish woman. And
yes, she's just a regular orcish woman. She has no ties to another orcish clan that hasn't really been spoken of yet. It just innocent whistles. Innocent whistles. She's just there. She's just a lady who's got a civic mind. That's all she's here for.
That's what it is. Doglook.
You didn't even have to tell me that one. I was able to figure that one out with a quick read through the setting material.
Doglook stands on top of the gates and he speaks. Eldag the Ravager, your name precedes you, and you have been the guest of my father before. Big tusks, of course.
Of course.
Now you come again. To honor his memory, I take it.
He was a great leader and one whose stability was worthy of the stones that the Roka stand on now. I wish to be there and say farewell to him as a fellow orc and one who leads the Aesir in hopes of obtaining the same nobility that your father stood for.
Well spoken. I'm gonna allow you to roll your manipulation again. You're not gonna have as much for your reputation this time because, of course, he has some reputation too, but not nearly as much as you. I'm gonna put him to like a 4 or a 3 even, so you have a +3 this time. +3. And I'm gonna have to.
I really need to start putting, I need to get some points. And I need to put those points into manipulation, because I use it a lot.
I mean, that's a fair point. See what I made there? Okay.
I know as a shadow player, I can't really do that. But you can.
I can. I can do everything.
Yes. All right. Are you ready to roll?
Absolutely.
I've got empathy 4, modifier 3. All right, let's do this. Another success.
Excellent. Okay. Doglook, the warrior. I need a good token for him. I don't have that yet. I'll roll his insight. How about that? Again, he is not necessarily, I'm not going to roll his insight. That would be silly.
Why would it be him?
Exactly.
Why would it be him when you've got someone who's standing right next to him and probably whispering in his ear?
Whispering in his ear. You know it. And
now, of course, the irony is now I have to question myself on just because I, the player, have realized this. Has Eldag realized this? Because there's a part of me that's like, yeah, he's canny enough to know this stuff, but at the same time, would he respect it? Like, would he look at? Oh God, I can't remember what they're called. But would he look at this other clan and say that they're, someone to be listened to, or would he look at them as like, oh yes, they serve a purpose,
mm-hmm.
but they're not real orcs.
So I'm gonna roll her insight, which is much stronger than his. That's a success.
It's a success.
Now
I have to decide, do I want to push?
That
Yeah,
is.
I'm probably.
Yeah.
Thing is,
You can
I'm
do that.
probably going to have to get more manip. Actually, no. At some point, I'm probably going to have to actually threaten somebody. Yeah, let's be honest. The minute someone actually gets in my face, I'm not even going to try to be nice because manipulation is not the thing to do at that point. This is to get my foot in the door. All right, yeah, I'm going to push.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow. Okay, you got yourself another willpower point too. Lovely. Which means that you managed to actually convince her of your that you are true of heart. So you can kind of see her lean in a bit and just do that whisper thing in his ear, and then the gates will swing open and you will be allowed into Ahrok with an honor guard of orcish warriors with the Roka clan sign, that obelisk, the stone on their shields and tabards. They're standing there. And you will notice that they are about as many as your troop, actually. They're flanking on both sides as you're coming in. And Dogluk and Akani are coming down from the gate to receive you in front of the main hall, if you will. What would pass for General Archa's palace and main keep. And as you're approaching, it will occur to you that they are in fact holding hands. And they're wearing what passes for orcish wedding or tokens of marriage. I don't know if orcs use rings or whatever, but whatever orcs use.
I definitely see them hand fasting. I don't know about rings. That strikes me as a complete waste of resources. Would definitely use rings because it's an opportunity to show off more wealth and status. But
yes,
yeah, like
but
Roka, I
Roka,
see.
yes.
Yeah, Roka, I see. Like I could see some form of jewelry, but probably I'd almost read it more something like a torque or something like that.
Yeah, that might be the case. And I mean, roll your insight just to see if you pick up on it, or let's see if it's one of the women in your retinue who pick up on it, because Eldag is still not the sharpest knife in the box. He is
again, he thinks that Aesir's ceremonies are simple and therefore superior. But how does an Aesir wedding go? I wrap my wrist against yours. We recognize we're going to fight together. Cool, let's go do a thing.
Do an insight check too.
Yeah, let's do this.
To
My
pick up on that.
2 wins.
Otherwise,
let's see if I can understand the complexity.
Otherwise, it will in fact be
even
your
close.
wife picking up on it. Oh no.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
You're
that
not
ain't
gonna
happening.
Push that, are you?
No,
No.
I'm fine with Eldag not getting it. It's like, oh, you're dressed in finery. Cool. It's weird. It's stuff that I don't think is orcish, but you think it's orcish, and I gotta accept that if I'm gonna maintain the solidarity thing. So yeah, you do you. You do you.
Akani, your wife will in fact be the one to tell you that, they are married, Eldag. You might want to think on that. So
he's not just listening to a woman, he's listening to his wife.
Yes.
That's good husbandry right there.
Exactly. She says. But I mean, this is not uncommon in orcish society that, I mean, you...
Oh yeah, he has, Eldag has no problem with listening to your wife, especially when it comes to politics. They understand that crap.
Exactly. Orcs, the orcish men go out and beat people up, and while the women
do all the complicated stuff.
Politics.
I get that.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just, when an orc is just sitting there with just some woman talking in his ear, that's, dude, you're being manipulated. You don't know this person. But if it's his wife, you've built a bond of trust. Yeah, listen to her. She's not setting you into a death trap. Hopefully.
So yes, you are invited to the hall as a favored guest. They've had just enough time to prepare. There's going to be a feast, and they will in fact.
There better be a feast.
Exactly, and they will in fact use this opportunity to do a proper burial of General Archa, as there is now enough
he'll be buried in
glory
the stone.
present
Yep.
with Eldag's presence as well. You know, it's a state visit to give him the proper send off.
Are there any Urher?
That's a good question, isn't it? Well, first of all, you will have some food and some news. Dogluck will, of course, be talking to you, and it seems clear. Your wife is whispering in your ear that it seems clear that Dogluck is really the one who is making the claim on taking over after General Archa. Like, he's receiving you in the keep, in Archa's keep. He shows that he's recently married. None of the other sons are visible around here, except possibly... yes, one of them is, and that will be Zarg, the fifth son, who is very young, he's just coming of age, and a scholar. And he seems to
Scholar
be
boy.
basically, as scholarly as you can be for an orc man, right? That's that doesn't necessarily say much in like elvish or human territories, but
What are you saying? You saying that orcish men can't learn as well as elves or humans? I take issue with that, sir.
I am saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
Them's fighting words.
Fighting words. Well, in orcish society,
Just because I don't understand all that book learning don't mean shit.
I
I got more important things to do. But if this young man wants to read books, power to him.
I guess you could combine a high strength with a high wits as an orc man, but if you're not having those melee skills, you're in trouble. So,
I'm not saying I would trust him to have my back in a fight.
No,
I'm
but
just
that's how you
saying
get status.
He can read the books. He can read the book things.
The biggest warrior wins, right? So that's how you get status. So
well, exactly.
He is not necessarily the most high status person, and it shows. Zarg is basically deferring to Dogluck, and has definitely shown that he is not gonna press like a succession fight against his slightly older brother. But Dogluck will ask your advice, because he is indecisive as a war leader. I bring as you're sitting and having, like, you have your own little table for the leaders, and it's going to be you, and it's going to be your wife, and it's going to be maybe your chief lieutenants, and Dogluck, and Akani, and Zarg, and maybe one or two other high-ranking sergeants or lieutenants in the Roka group there, and Dogluck is sitting there. I need your advice. You can see that Akani doesn't necessarily like. No, you can't see that because that passes you by completely. No insight here.
Nope.
So Dogluck is leaning in towards you, and I bring bad tidings to you. I do not know if word has reached you yet, but unfortunately, the succession has not gone well. Foul play is suspected. Some say that my father did not die a natural death. Some say that someone else took him from us. And everyone is pointing claws at each other. And now I have outside about 20 kilometers that way and 10 that way. Down that way is Brocha with his roving band of marauders who refuse to accept me as the rightful heir. And down that way, and he points straight north, is it's Gorg himself. He has his own troop too. This will not end well. We're split 3 ways.
This is something that happens when there are multiple sons with a claim to the throne, with a claim to leadership. So you need my advice. What advice do you need?
Well, should we go against Brocha or Gorg first? Gorg has the heavier troops, but Brocha is further away. I do not want to leave Ahrok undefended, but if I wait, they might gang up against me. Word is that they've already killed Gach.
Well, if they killed Gach, then they won't team up. Both of them will be simply waiting for an opportunity to stab the other one in the back so that he can take the crown. If they're already willing to kill Kin, this is not a question anymore of pride. This is a question of ambition.
Yes, ambition. We need to be. This is not like it was in my father's day.
Yes, because let's be perfectly honest, everyone understood that your father was the clear leader. I support you because you understand what it is to be a leader. You understand the duty that it has. It is not an objective of personal attainment. It's about the betterment of your people. Right. You're the only one of your brothers who understands this, that can actually defend your claim. That is why I support you. But just because I support you for that, there are plenty of your people who need a greater warrior, a better politician, all those other things. So you need to prove that
Will we fight together then against the others?
If we were to fight together, openly, as allies, do you understand the consequences of that choice?
Dog looks around a little bit and tries to understand the consequences of that. I'm actually gonna make a lore check for him. That's probably the best proxy here for the politics, if you will. Apparently he does, in a way.
Okay. All right. So
we will.
At least
we are the Roka. We do not bow down to anyone else. Once we led all the orcs.
Yes, once you led all the orcs. But the orcs found different. The orcs began to disagree. My people rejected the society that the Roka had built, believing that it left us too vulnerable to the oppressor races. The Urher saw it as the opposite, that we needed to become closer. Now, now let me suggest to you, if you and I were to become allies, yes, there would be the argument that we could make is that once again the orcs are becoming united. But would that uniting be under you, or would it perhaps be interpreted as being under me? And would perhaps that debate lead to greater division? He looks over at Anna, was his wife. I keep wanting to say Akani, but that's not her name.
No. Yeah, Eldag's wife, you mean?
No.
Doglook's wife's name is Akani, yes.
Akani, okay, it is Akani. Yeah, he looks over at Akani and just kind of raises his eyebrow, going like, "You get it."
She will nod.
So, may I present a different idea?
I'm listening.
We do not form an official alliance, but the Aesir perhaps attack one of your challengers, seeing them as a threat to orcs in general.
Oh, you could do that, yes. Brocha is nothing more than a brigand anyway. All he does is raid the human territories for gold and silver and coppers. And slaves,
I perhaps could even. It is possible that I could even reach out to Brocha and end his claim without violence. My pride does desire a rematch with Gorg, however.
Gorg. He will not be easily swayed.
Because he's an idiot.
Yes. Everybody.
He looks at everyone at the table. We all agree Gorg is an idiot, right?
Yes, there is lots of nodding going on.
But he is a great warrior.
While you're having this conversation, this repast, because you're eating ripe meat off a bone, right?
Yes.
There is singing going on. An orcish minstrel. She is beautiful and sings the most amazing songs with the most enthralling voice you've probably ever heard. Like, it's just out of this world. What is orcish song? Is that like death metal?
Okay, see, I've actually been playing around with this a little bit. No, I would argue it's not. Like, yes, there would definitely be like orcish war songs that would just be, full on scream death metal.
Yeah.
But when you think, at least for the Aesir, they would definitely be engaged with a lot more primitive. Actually, I don't want to say primitive, but analog instrumentation. So lots of drum work, lots of
percussion, bang, 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 bang.
Lots of percussion, lots of reed instruments as well. I would argue. So so things like pipes and
bugles and whatnot.
Not so much bugles.
Maybe trumpets or flutes.
No. More like woodwinds or things like say bagpipes, which would make absolute sense. Bladder and pipe.
Yeah.
And then other basically, I'm gonna be silly here. Aesir music is basically a much more tribalistic version of Buddy Rich jazz.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I think the Roka might be leaning heavier into the percussions because of their
because
worshipping of their stone and so on.
Yeah. I bet that they would actually do. I bet that they would do a lot of horn work because how it would resound in the caves and things like that.
Exactly.
Would have an impact.
And this bard, she is singing of the victories of General Archa in the most. You can almost see it in front of your eyes as she's singing. That's like the way she can paint a scene. It's quite amazing. But you are all agreeing that
Gorg's an idiot.
Gorg is an idiot. Yes, there is no other way of putting that. Gorg is an idiot. And
he may be an idiot, but he is a fine warrior, and one that should not be underestimated for that skill. But a warrior alone does not lead a nation.
This is true, says Dogluck. It takes wisdom as well, and I have that. I am very blessed with my wonderful wife and her insightful advice, as every orc leader should take. And I
would also listen to your little brother.
Yes. Zarg is a good man. Bang. He just slaps him over the shoulders. There's no...
How's Zarg taking that? I'm very curious about that.
No, he seems to be fine. I mean, insight checks, but your wife can whisper in your ear. I have a feeling that after you've had this whole feast, that you and your wife are going to sit in a corner and she's just going to...
Oh, yeah, just like, he's just going to sit there and go like,
this is what
tell me the shit I don't understand. What was with the looks between those two people? Like,
and
who knows who's fucking who? Like,
exactly.
Who's stabbing who in the back?
Indeed. So this is like a shall we say a montage where we have the conversation.
Yeah. Let's go with montage.
And when your wife is kind of explaining to you what is going on afterwards, and she will tell you basically that Zarg seems quite pleased with this position. This game doesn't have like a scholar class or profession.
Right.
The closest you get is really, I guess, minstrel, because you can be a lore master. You have a high lore rating there. But Zarg is not someone who plays music, but that will be the closest. And he, as for being an orc, he has as high wits as possibly you could get. So if that's a minstrel thing, then that would be a wits of 4. and then lore of 3 or something, which is a lot
Okay,
for an orc.
so basically he's useless as an orc, but he's found a spot to be able to survive.
Yes, exactly. No, I mean, he put the rest of his attributes into strength, right? That's his
Okay,
secondary.
so he's at least trying.
Yeah, he can still have a strength of 4 or 5, so, he's no warrior the way that you would, like, for you, the baseline for a warrior is a 5 strength, like, otherwise...
Yeah, no, it's like,
you're
for me, I'm looking at him, and it's like, you can farm.
Yes, pretty much. But that is the... And as you're having this conversation about the politics, there will, in fact, be a Snaga runner coming in. These are the smallest and weakest of the orc men. And sits down. Lord Dogluck, a message from scouts in the forest. And Dogluck takes the message, and then he looks like, Akani. Oh, this is bad. It seems Gorg has committed violence against the Urher. An entire troop of Urher were ambushed in the forest by Gorg's troops. None survived. There was at least 10 of them. The Empress will not like this. But that also means that now we cannot send messages to the Empress, because Gorg controls the land. You see, we are under siege here. Akani looks absolutely petrified and angry and just... She's trying... again,
Yeah.
Eldag
Actually,
might...
yeah, so if she's barely holding on to letting shit, to revealing shit, Eldag can't even remotely hide what's going through his head. What's going through his head is, well, shit, I'm off the hook. So yeah, like, and he's not dumb enough to realize that he's going to be able to, hide it too much. So so it's like, yes, you are under siege, but now we have a completely new opportunity. Gorg has given us one of the best opportunities we could have hoped for.
How so?
He's attacked the Urher. This is no longer an internal conflict. This is Gorg committing war upon another clan.
We should reach out to Brocha and tell him about this outrage.
Yes.
So Brocha will come with us, maybe.
Well, even if he doesn't, we give him the option. And if we and the thing is, now we can stand up in an alliance, and it is one that is Orcish unity in defense of the Urher.
Yes.
And I'll just admit it. He reveals just little bit of a glint in his eye that anyone who can remotely understands how Eldag works, and it'll make the Urher look like a bunch of bitches that needed saving.
Yes. We can save her honor for them.
And with that unity, we could perhaps break through. With the two of us aligned, we can break through, communicate with the Urher, perhaps all come together to defeat Gorg, and perhaps find a new opportunity for Orcish unity and solidarity.
Unity under the Roka. Obvious interpretation from the Roka's perspective.
Oh, obviously no. And it like. Yeah, you know what? He's not going to stand for that. He's not going to stand for that. Under the Roka, he slams his hand down. No. As orcs, the Roka stand for something. They stand as the spine of the orcs. The Urher stand as... Well, I cannot speak for the Urher, but I can speak for the Aesir. The Aesir are the talon. Are the hand that fights and claws for freedom. I respect you, Dobruk. I stand by you as a fellow leader of orcs who sees freedom for our people, but I will stand with you as an ally. I will not follow you.
Roll your manipulation again. Now, again, Doug, you have the +3 for outranking him. Technically, he hasn't gained enough reputation yet. I'll roll his insight.
You know, nope. In this case, I'm going for threat.
Oh, you're gonna actually threaten him?
Well, I'm not going to threaten him. I'm going to intimidate. I'm going to slam my fist down and make it very clear that, you know, respect.
Okay.
But I'm not. But I don't serve him.
Fair enough. You get a +1 on that.
Yep.
So
okay.
In total, you then have +4 because you have the second level of threatening.
Yes.
I will roll Akani's insight because obviously she's the one who's going to whisper in his ear at night.
Yep. All right. So
2 successes
so I need
for
to
her.
Beat 2. All right. So here we go. Oh shit!
That was a terrible roll.
That was a gross roll.
It was absolutely
I'm gonna
terrible.
Push.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna push.
You're gonna take a lot of damage to your strength, but I'm fine with that. I'm
fine with that too.
Your strength.
All right. Suddenly, just realized I could probably burn some willpower of some kind.
I don't know that you have any talents that helps you here.
Nope. No, that's. Oh, right. Willpower is mostly for combat and stuff for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's fine. All right. Come on. Just give me something here.
There we go.
There we go.
4
I'll
points
take that.
You burst a vein into your...
Yeah. Oh no. Like, you know, I have fought long and hard to make sure the Roker is stable, but no, like you can just see there's just a vein just going like right there. Like, how dare you suggest that I'm offering to bend the knee? Just like.
And that this will force them to back down. They will, of course. No, of course not. Bend the knee. Of course not. Eldag gets scared.
Oh no, and you know, and the minute that he says like, "Of course not, bend the knee," it's like, okay, we're all in agreement. Let's go kick the shit out of Gord together. You know, like it's cousins. Let's go do it. Let's do it. Just.
Yep. And so goes the evening, if you will. I'm gonna give you the opportunity soon to regain your lost strength there, but yeah, you have your willpower is maxed out. How does that make you feel?
That feels freaking great. I'm gonna kick some serious tail.
You will. But the day is not over. Because before the day is over, you will be approached by not Akani this time. She's keeping very much with Dogluck and talking to him, no doubt whispering in his ear as a good wife should. But in fact, the orcish bard, the minstrel, will... And this is like one of those moments where, I don't know, Eldag is relaxing after a long day. You see the sun go down over the arena forest, the beautiful vistas that you have, having the nice guest lodgings.
One weird little thing, but before the dinner ends, when the politicking's over and everyone's just starting to, you know, party and have a good time, Eldag actually leaves the leader table and goes and sits with his men.
Yes, that seems reasonable.
Yeah. Because, you know, they've been fighting together. If I'm going to get drunk, I'm getting drunk with my boys, not some fucking, you know, princeling.
That's a fair point. So you are getting ever so slightly intoxicated, and with... Why don't you roll an endurance check on top of that? Because we'll see how drunk you get.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Oh, shit. And with the strength burn. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, God. And I'm assuming no modifiers?
That's correct.
Oh, dear. This is going to suck. Oh, no, I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't need anything. I'm fine with getting a little bit tipsy.
Yeah, a little bit tipsy. And it's in this context that the bard will somehow find herself just bumping into you. And you're kind of making your way, I don't know, maybe you've been around the corner to relieve yourself or whatever.
Something like that.
She is an extraordinarily beautiful orc woman. Probably the most beautiful you've ever seen. Whatever is Eldag's ideal of an orc woman, she's it.
Oh, yeah.
And with one little qualifying detail that Eldag finds strange, she has yellow eyes. But she's standing there and looking a bit timid, and oops, she says, "I didn't mean to bump into you like this. I'm Hiria?
Hiria, you sing well. Your tales of Arha were inspiring yet mournful."
Thank you. She looks a bit blushing. Oh, I'm just wondering, I heard all sorts of rumors tonight, and being a minstrel, I collect those kinds of things. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I just wondered if some of those rumors are true. I mean, this, because I'm a minstrel, I write songs about this. One of the things I'm wondering about whether it's true is Akani is, and this is turning into one of those, women gossiping moment, courtier gossiping. Akani seems to be, I don't know if you've heard, but I've heard that she is actually one of the handmaidens of Empress Soria.
That's a rumor.
It is. I think it's more than a rumor, though. I think it's true. And you know what I also think?
What's that? What's that you think?
I don't know these things that well. You have to understand. I'm simply a minstrel, but I travel. I've been to the Orher lands. I've been to easier guard posts, though I will admit that I haven't done my duty properly and come to Voltag. I should at some point. But
yes, you would be welcomed. We would be excited to hear your music.
Oh, I'm so happy. Then I will come next time I come.
Yes.
I was going to say, you see, that I just wonder how, if Akani is an Urhur
or wine
handmaiden,
yes, you're right, handmaid. Yes.
Won't you actually be on the border of Urhur lands on both sides? Because Akani being Soria's handmaiden, that means that Dogluk is actually bending the knee to Hroka, doesn't it? I'll roll a manipulation check here because it's obvious what she's doing to any player. Why do I
okay.
so terribly? I'm gonna push that.
Ouch. There we go.
Roll your insight.
Oh, crap. All right. I'm going to get the tar kicked out of me. And I get nothing out of this, do I? It's just straight 2 dice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
She is basically using these wiles to wrap you around her finger and convince you, in fact, that what's happening here because of Akani is that you will have Urhur lands. It's only a matter of time before Dogluk bends the knee to the Empress, because Akani will make him bend the knee to the Empress. The group of Urhur that were coming through the forest to, I guess, pay their respects were also coming to accept his homage to Emperor Hroka, the first and the greatest. So if you continue to support Dogluk, you will end up with strengthening the Urhur and have Urhur on both sides of the mountains, and you will be alone. The Hroka will just be a vassal of the Urhur. That is what...
That's what she's trying to sell me on.
Yes. And successfully so, given...
Oh, yeah, no, he's totally bought in. Like,
yep.
It's, yeah.
Sweet words of honey in his ear.
Sweet honeyed words in the ear. As he weaves back and forth, slightly hammered.
Yep. And I will have I'm having a feeling that once he actually retires in the night, Eldag's wife... What is Eldag's wife's name?
We've never talked about her.
How about...
She's always kind of been a bit of an abstract.
Yes, let's give her a name, for crying out loud. how about her name is, in fact, Garina, Shala, Cersini? Those some examples.
Cersini's fun. I like that.
Cersini, okay. Her name is Cersini. And she will actually agree with Hyria the Minstrel that, there is a big risk here. Cersini has been out scouting about a bit. The forces that Dogluk have right now is basically his own forces, Archa's household guard, and Zarg's personal guard put together. That's why he has these many troops and outnumbers the others. It's unknown how many the others have, but they probably don't. Maybe they have about the same put together between them, but not much more than that.
Okay.
So, but it's also true. Like Cersini is very worried if the Urhur forces have been attacked and destroyed by Gorg, then definitely we should expect an intervention by the Urhur, who will now be angry. And will they accept anything but submission? Because the Roka will come out of this so weakened. Like, their once proud forces who were unified split into 3 or 4 or even 5 ways, and now they've been taking each other apart one by one. And the risk of you being outflanked by a weakened weakened Roka clan who is effectively a vassal of the Urhur. This is the problem and dilemma that Eldag will be thinking on as he, in his, shall we say, slightly drunken state, falls asleep this night of the 13th of spring. We're on spring wane, indeed. And I think this is a good point for us to actually take a pause in this. I want to give you the chance to think about this and what Eldag...
I've got a plan. I've got a plan.
You got a plan?
I've got a plan.
Oh, you want to go ahead with that immediately?
Yeah, let's just go with it. I've got a good idea.
Right.
It might be a terrible idea, but it makes sense to him. So let's
blow
run
up.
with it.
Okay, tell me, what's the plan? When you wake up on the 14th and the torrential rains have started up again.
I'm going to take my forces and I'm going to go after Bandit Brother. Under the guise of we need to have the Roka as unified as possible when we face off against Gorg. So I'm going to go find your brother and convince him to somehow get, stand with us. And I'll just say what the plan is. The plan will basically to either try and recruit him into my side or get him to recognize that he needs to stop being a bandit and a little bitch, and he needs to lead his people.
Ooh, cunning plan. I like it. Very well. We will continue with that. I'm gonna have to check into some of the other shadow players too.
That's totally fine.
Days will pass. It's gonna take you a day.
This has just laid so many annoying plot threads that everyone has to deal with now.
Yes. It's going to take you about a day to march over there, so it'll be like the 14th by the time you get there. But we will pick it up. And
I'm fine with pausing for ever long as needed to get everything else set up.
Indeed.
Because dealing with this dingus.
And so ends this little intermission of evilness behind the scenes.